Bhaktir Bhauti Naishtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, text number 41. Tada Vishwa Ishwaraha Kruddaha Tada Vishweshwarah Kruddo Bhagavan Lokabhavanaha Bhagavan Lokabhavanaha Anishyati Avatirya Aso Anishyati Avatirya Aso Yata Adrin Shataparvadrak Yata Adrin Shataparvadrak Tada Vishweshwarah Kruddo Bhagavan Lokabhavanaha Anishyati Avatiryasyo Yatadrin Shataparvadrak Tada Vishweshwarah Kruddo Bhagavan Lokabhavanaha Anishyati Avatiryaso Yatadrin Shataparvadrak. Tada, at that time, Vishwa Ishwaraha, the Lord of the universe, Kruddaha, in great anger, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lokabhavanaha, desiring the welfare of the people in general, Anishyati, will kill Avatirya, descending himself, Aso, he, Yata, as if, Adrin, the mountains, Shataparvadrak, the controller of the thunderbolt, Indra. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. At the time, the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the well-wisher of all living entities, will descend and kill them, just as Indra smashes the mountains with his thunderbolts. Please repeat the translation. At that time, the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the well-wisher of all living entities, will descend and kill them, just as Indra smashes the mountains with his thunderbolts. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord descends as an incarnation to deliver the devotees and kill the miscreants. The Lord of the universe and of everything would appear to kill the sons of Diti because of their offending the devotees of the Lord. There are many agents of the Lord such as Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Goddess Durga and Kali who can chastise any formidable miscreants in the world. The example of mountains being smashed by a thunderbolt is very appropriate. The mountain is considered the most strongly built body within the universe. Yet it can be easily smashed by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Personality of Godhead does not need to descend in order to kill any strongly built body. He comes down just for the sake of his devotees. Everyone is subject to the miseries offered by material nature, but because the activities of miscreants such as killing innocent people and animals or torturing women are harmful to everyone and are therefore a source of pain for the devotees, the Lord comes down. He descends only to give relief to his ardent devotees. The killing of the miscreants by the Lord is also the mercy of the Lord towards the miscreant, although apparently the Lord takes the side of the devotee. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his activities of killing the miscreants and favoring the devotees. Doesn't see Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimira Andasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktirunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in the perspective here, we see the purpose of killing the sons, why Lord appears to this material world, is explained. So Kashyapa is explaining the consequences of having that sons, which are conceived at a wrong time. Tada Vishweshwarah Kruddaha. In the last verse it is said, these demons will cause pain to innocent living entities. They kill animals. They torture women. So when these things happen, Lord becomes angry. Tata Vishweshwarah Kruddaha. The Lord of the universe, he becomes angry, extremely angry. Bhagavan Lokabhavanaha. But he is Bhagavan, who is well-wisher of all living entities. He becomes angry. When he becomes angry, Hanishyati Avatiryaso. Hanishyati, he will kill that sons who are causing disturbance in the society. How he will kill? Avatiryaso, he descends to this material world to kill them. He could kill them in many ways, but here it is specifically said, he descends to this world, Avatirya Aso, to kill that, Hanishyati, to kill the demons. Yatadrin Shataparvadruk, as Indra with his thunderbolts smashes the mountains. So, the Prabhupada is explaining in this perspective here, why this is compared to mountains here. The demons are so strongly built, it is explained, that they are so strongly built that their body were like Vajrakaya, means like mountain strength. So to smash a mountain, Indra's thunderbolt is sufficient. So to kill these demons, there are many agents of the Lord who can finish off these demons. Even Kala itself is the biggest agent. Kala will kill everybody. That's what Krishna showed in Bhagavad Gita, Kala Rupa. Kalosmi Lokakshayakrit. I destroy the entire world. Just as our span becomes finished, we are dead. 100 years. Even if you don't utilize, we are gone. Our body will be finished. So, but why the Lord appears here? 2-3 reasons have been mentioned here. The Supreme Lord does not need to descend in order to kill any strongly built body. He comes down just for the sake of his devotees. So, Lord comes here to give relief for the devotees because they were feeling too much agony because of the suffering of other living entities. One, they are tortured by these people and they feel pain when other living entities are also disturbed because of these demoniac activities. And the third reason, the Lord comes secondary perspective to kill these demons and miscreants. A similar perspective was explained by Kunti Maharani in her prayers. She gives 6 reasons why Lord descends to this material. The first one, she says, one of that reason was, to give pleasure to his dear devotee Yadu. Lord appeared in Yadu Vamsha. So then, to satisfy his dear devotees Vasudeva and Devaki, because they had prayed for you to have a son, that's why you have appeared there. Then you come to kill all the miscreants who are disturbing the earth. That's why you come there. Third reason. Fourth one, she says, Brahma had prayed for you. Brahma along with Mother Earth had come to you and they had prayed for you to reduce this burden of the earth. That's why you had appeared here. And fifth reason, they say, you come to re-establish the principles of religion. Dharma samsthapanardaya. That's why you appeared here. And finally, the sixth reason, the primary reason they say, you come here to regenerate the principles of devotion service. All the other activities are secondary. You come here to enhance bhakti of devotees towards you. This is your main purpose. So that all these pastimes will encourage us to engage in devotional service to them. So similarly, why Indra attacks these mountains? So in Bhagavatam, in purports, Prabhupada explains 2-3 perspectives. Earlier, the mountains were having wings, it seems. So they were flying everywhere. When they are flying everywhere, while they are landing, they are crashing all the people who are there below. And they are causing great inconvenience. Because if a mountain lands somewhere here, that's it, we are all gone. Next moment, we are all smashed. We'll become papad. So they were causing inconvenience for the living entities. So Indra, with his thunderbolt, cut all their wings so that they become stationed at one place. They do not create disturbance in this material world. This is one reason we see. The second reason we see, the Indra levels this earth by breaking these mountains. So he levels this earth and brings to one platform, a flat square. So this is second reason they say why Indra uses his thunderbolt towards his mountain. So why does this Lord appear here in this material world? So Bhagavatam at various places gives various perspectives, how to understand why Lord appears, what are his internal reasons and external reasons. Ajasya janmotpatta nashanaya karmani akartur grahanaya pumsam nanu anyata ko arhati deha yogam paro gunanam utakarma tantra. So he says, Ajasya janma, a Lord who doesn't take birth, appears in this material world. Ajasya, one who has no birth, but he takes birth in this material world. For what? Utpata nashanaya, to destroy all the miscreants. So then, karmani akartuhu, although he does activity, they are all transcendental. Akartuhu, he does not does activity. See, everything considered with the Lord is difficult for us to pursue. He does an activity, but no karma comes out of it. It is all transcendental activities. We do something, we get karma out of it. So everything, it is like different perspective. He does not have birth, he takes birth. And grahanaya pumsam, and he enacted for the understanding of all persons. Why did Lord enact these things? So that we understand about the Lord's position. Otherwise, since the Lord is transcendental, nanu anyata paraha gunanam deha yoganam, to all material modes. Lord is beyond material perspective. Even though he is in this material world, the gunas does not act upon him. Like for example, when we start growing, automatically our body starts aging, shadvikara. But for the Lord, it does not happen. Like it is said at the time of battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna is 90 years old, around 89, 88 years old. But he looks like a 16-year-old boy, 16 to 20 years, ever youthful. That's why he is called as Nava Yavana. He always looks that age itself, like 16 to 20-year-old boy. So the age factor, Lord is not bound by that perspective. Like at the time it is said he had grandsons, maybe great-grandsons. But still he is looking like Nava Yavana. So what purpose could he serve by coming to this earth? Ka artha uta karma tantram. So Lord is beyond our perspective. Why he comes? That's why it's all transcendental. So in some other place also, the Lord's activities have been enumerated. He comes in various perspectives. Not only here, he comes through his energies. He activates many things in this material world. It says, Jnanam cha anugyam brute, to preach transcendental knowledge in every yuga. Hari Siddha Swarupadruk. Lord Hari comes as Siddhas, like 4 Kumaras, to preach this transcendental knowledge. Rishi Rupadruk Daraha Karma. He comes as Yajnavalkya, as Rishis, to preach about karma. Yogam Yogesha Rupadruk. He comes as Dattatreya to preach about the principles of Ashtanga Yoga. Sargam Prajesha Rupena. He comes as the progenitors like Marichi to create progeny. Dasyun hanyat swarup patubuhu. He comes in the form of kings to destroy the thieves and rogues. Kala rupena sarvesham. He comes as a form of Kala. Everybody, abhavaya, he destroys everything. Not only people, land, earth, even this material world he destroys by Kala. Pratak gunaha. And although he is understood, all different qualities of material existence should be understood to be the qualities of the Supreme Lord. So whatever we see, it is all Lord's energies and Lord's qualities. Then further it says, Stuyamano janairebi mayaya nama rupaya vimohita atmabir nana darshaner nacha drishyate. So mayaya vimohita atmabihi, living entities who are being under illusion. Mayaya vimohita atmabihi, they have been come under ignorance, vimohita, bewilderment, ignorance, illusion. Because stuyamano janairebi, they are trying to search for this absolute truth. Everybody wants to know who is that God, how he is managing. That inquisitiveness perspective is there, but it is misdirected. What are they trying to do? Nana rupaya, in various forms and various things they are trying to search by their philosophical and research oriented process. Everybody wants to know God by his thesis, by his research. That is the biggest unfortunate thing. That's why they are on Maya Vimohaya. They becomes bewildered by the Lord's experiences, Lord's activities. But Nacha Drishyate, they will not be able to understand about the Supreme Lord by their inquiry through philosophy and speculation. By mental speculation, you can never understand Lord, because he is beyond mental comprehension. He is beyond sense perception. What we see is beyond our idea. Now, similarly, while ending Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, Krishna's pastimes, Shukadeva Goswami, in 4 or 5 verses, he concludes the purpose of Krishna's incarnation. He gives the essence of Krishna Leela. He says, Tirtham chakre nropa pannam yad ajani yadushu swa sarit pada saucham vidvid snigdam swarupam yayur ajita parashrir yadarte anya yatnaha yan namam angalagnam shrutam ata gaditam yad kruto gotra dharmaha Krishna syaita na chitram kshitibara haranam kala chakrayudasya. He says, Swasarit, like Ganges water. Tirtha Chakre is a place of pilgrimage. It's a holy place of pilgrimage. People go to take bath in Ganges. Because Pada Saucham, it has, that water is emanated because it has washed the lotus feet of the Lord. It became very sanctified. But Ajan Yadushu, but when Lord descended among the Yadus, Yat Unam, even Ganges became covered because the Yadu dynasty became famous, better than Ganges. The Lord's glories eclipsed the Ganges, a holy place. But those who hated Krishna and those who loved him, Vidvit Snigdaha, attained eternal forms like he is in the spiritual world. Swarupam Yayor. So, those who loved the Lord also attained Vaikunta. Those who hated the Lord also attained Vaikunta. Those who were killed by the Lord also attained Vaikunta. Those who worshipped the Lord also attained Vaikunta. This is because Lord is absolute. Anything in connection with the Lord is best only. Like Prabhupada says, somebody asked, which specific part should I study? Connecting to Krishna. Prabhupada says, Krishna is like sweet. Anywhere, any corner you bite, it is always sweet. So anything connected with Krishna is always sweet. So anything you try to get in connection with Krishna, you feel that same experience. The unattainable and supremely self-satisfied goddess of fortune, Ajita Parashrihi, for the sake of whose favor everyone struggles, Yadarte Anya Yatnaha. Everybody wants the mercy of Lakshmi Devi. Everybody wants that opulences. She specifically belongs to only the Lord. That's why her name is Chanchalam. She is Chanchala. But she becomes fixed wherever her husband is there. She is always fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. See, in that way, if you are aspiring to have mercy of Lakshmi Devi, first we should bring Narayana. When Narayana husband is there, wife will automatically follow. Material world Prabhupada says everybody wants Lakshmi without her husband Narayana. That's the biggest problem. Ravana wanted Sita without Ramachandra. That's why he is killed. He is destroyed with his entire family. So, if you want to be safe and secure, if you want the blessings of Lakshmi Devi, you should hold on to Narayana. If Narayana is there, Lakshmi, and automatically all the appearances will follow there. His name destroys all inauspicious names. Yan nama amangalagnam. Shrutam a ata gaditam. When heard or chanted, when you hear with the Lord or when you chant the holy name of the Lord, it destroys all the misgivings. Yat kruto gotra dharmaha. He alone set forth the principles of various disciplic successions of sages. Etadna chitram krishnasya. What wonder is that he, kala chakraidasya, whose personal weapon is the wheel of time, chitibara bharanam, who had come to this world to reduce the burden of the earth. So further it says, Jayati jana nivaso devaki janmavado yaduvara parishad swer dorbir asayan adharmam stira chara vrijinagna susmita shri mukena vrajapura vanitanam vardayan kamadeva. The Lord is known as Jana Nivasaha because he is the ultimate resort of all living entities. And he is also known as Devaki Nandanaha because he took birth from the womb of Devaki. So he is Yaduvara Parishad Swer Dorbir Asayan Adharmam. By his mighty arms, he protected the Yadu dynasty. And he killed everybody who is adharmaha, who is irreligious. Sthirachara vrijinagnaha. By his presence, he destroys all things inauspicious for living entities, either for moving or inert. Susmita Shri Mukena Vrajapura Vanitinam Vardayan Kamadevam. His blissful smiling face increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavana. So, may that all glorious Lord be blessed and be blessed with us and be happy with us. And further, further he says, Ittam parasya nijavartma rirakshata leela tanos tadanurupa vidambanani karmani karma kasanani yaduttamasya shruyad amusya padayor anuvrittimichyam. He says, nijavartma rirakshaya, to protect the principles of devotional service to himself. Parasya yadu uttamasya, the Lord who is transcendental to this material world, parasya, and he is the best of the yadus, yadu uttamasya. Atta leela tanohu, he accepts various forms, leela tanohu, various pastime forms. Ichan amushya padayor anuvrittim. So one who desires to faithfully serve the lotus feet of the Lord, ittam karmani vidambanani, should hear of the activities of those incarnations and that suitably imitate tat anurupa, those of the forms he assumes. Shruyat kasanani karma, hearing the pastimes of the Lord destroys the reactions of fruitive activities. If you hear Krishna Kada, it will clean up our material tendencies. And final verse he says, this is the last verse of 10th canto, he says, Martyas tayanu savanam editaya mukunda shrimat kata shravana kirtana chintayati taddama dustara kritanta javapa vargam gramadvanam kshitibujopi yayur yadartaha. So shravana kirtana chintaya, shravana by hearing, kirtana by chanting, chintaya by meditating, shrimat kata on the auspicious pastimes of the Lord, Mukunda, Lord Mukunda, Taya anusavam ayeditaya, with ever increasing sincerity, Martyaha, any living entity who is destined to die, Eti tad dhama, he attends the supreme abode of the Supreme Lord, where Dustara Javakrita Anta Apavargam, where the inevitable power of death holds no sway. There is no death perspective in the spiritual world. Yadartaha kshiti bujaha. And for this purpose, many persons, including great kings, gramat vanam apiyayoho, abandoned their houses and went to the forest to meditate upon the Lord. Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda ki. So this is the perspective. If you want to become free from this material world, material perspectives, even great sages have left this world, renounced this world and went to forest to engage in devotion service of the Lord. So primarily it says Lord comes to protect devotional service, to enhance the devotional service. That is the primary reason why the Lord appears to this material world. So similarly in the 12th canto also it says, Raksha Achyuta Avatareha Vishwasya Anu Yuge Yuge Tiryan Martya Rishi Deveshu Anyantyayais Trayi Dvishaha. So, Anu Yuge Yuge, in every age, Achyuta Avataraiha, the Lord appears in this material world in various forms. Tiryan Martya Rishi Deveshu, in various forms means Tiryan among animals, Martya among human beings, Rishi among demigods and sages, and Deveshu in demigods. He appears among various perspectives in various living entities. And Raksha Vishwasya, to protect this universe. Hanyanteyais Tvayi Dvishaha, and to destroy all those who are against these Vedic principles. So this is in the 12th canto where it is said the Lord appears in every yuga. How he appears further is elaborated in various verses. What is his reason why he comes in Satya Yuga, how he comes in Treta Yuga, how he comes in Dwapar Yuga, how he comes. There are specific technicalities how he has to be understood in various yugas. So similarly, not all the times Lord comes to destroy the material tendencies. Not he comes to destroy the material demoniac perspective. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why did he come? This time did he kill any demons? Then why did he come this time? So this time he came to distribute love of Godhead. He wanted people to understand the highest perspective. We are all running after Chatur Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us Panchama Purushartha, Prema Kumarto Mahan. This is the highest thing. And Lord also appears in various other intentions, like he comes as deities. So, not that he has to appear for that purpose, but the devotee's love attracts the Lord in this perspective. He becomes bound by the affection and loving service of the devotee. He appears in the deity form. The next week there is a very activity of Lokanath Goswami, one of the Goswamis of Vrindavan, the first Goswami who was sent to Vrindavan by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, in his life history also, we understand how the Lord appeared to him in a very unique way, and how he worshipped the Lord in a very unique way, that is also there. So, Lokanath Goswami, he possessed extraordinary behavior and character and personality. He appeared in a village known as Talakaida in Jashore district in Bangladesh currently. Mother name is Sita, father name is Padmanabha Chakravarti. So Padmanabha Chakravarti was very dear to Advaita Acharya. He was elderly in age, so when he had Lokanatha as his son. So from his childhood, Lokanatha was very much detached personality. So leaving everything behind, he came to Navadvipa to join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastimes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed him extreme mercy, and he had asked him to go to Vrindavan because it was necessary for the Lord to send him to Vrindavan, because very soon the Lord will be accepting Sannyasa Leela. So he thought Lokanath will not be able to tolerate when he sees me in a renounced order of life. So he wanted him to go to Vrindavana to search out the places there. And when Lord comes to Vrindavana after accepting sannyasa, so somebody will be there to receive him there and to take care of him. So when Lokanath got to know somehow that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be taking sannyasa, he became very disturbed. He started crying. He fell down at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he was praying for him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand, as the super soul of all living entities, the anguish, the feelings of separation, what he is going through. He picked him up and embraced him and he blessed him to go to Vrindavan. And he said very soon he will come there and both of us will meet in Vrindavan. So, but what to do? He could not bear the separation, but it is the order of the Lord. So he reached Vrindavan. After visiting various holy places, he finally reached Vrindavan. So when he reached Vrindavan, he got to know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyasa. After taking sannyasa, he went to Puri. So after staying in 2 months in Puri, he went to South Indian trip. So he thought of meeting with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He followed from Vrindavana to come to South India. So when he came to South India and when he finished South Indian trip, he got to know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan. So when he reached Vrindavan, he came to know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went away back to Puri. No, he went to Prayag. So when he was thinking of tomorrow morning, I will be starting for Prayag. So that night, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in a dream. Stop following me. You be here only. You will have my association very soon. So be here. So because he could not avoid, he could not transgress the order of the Lord, he stayed back in Vrindavan. So when he was roaming around, searching for the pastimes of the Lord and the pastime places of the Lord, he came to a place called as Kishori Kunda, a serene place which is secluded from public. So he was sitting under a tree and he was having an intense desire of feeling separation from the Lord. So he wanted to have one deity form where he could engage in devotional service to that deity. He wanted to serve the form of the Lord. So at that time, understanding his mood, the Lord appeared to him. Janilena Prabhu Lokanatha Utkantita Anyarupe Vigrahalaya Upastita. So residing in his heart, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being sympathetic towards his devotees' restive spirit, thus he came incognito carrying a deity. Radha Vinoda Namakahi Samarpila Sekshane Tenho Tata Adrushya Hoila. He came like a Brahmana. He carried the deity with him and he said, my dear sir, I am not able to handle this deity. Too much difficult for him because he demands so many things like that. He mentioned a reason, put the deity in the hands of Lokanatha and he vanished from there. And he said this personality is known as Radha Vinoda. Lokanatha Goshai Chintaye Mane Mane Ke Hena Vigraha Diya Gela Kon Kane. So he became confused. Lokanatha Goswami pondered about the identity of the person who delivered him the deity. He just came here. Suddenly, he put the deity in my hand and he vanished. Who is his personality? How did he come here? Like that, he started wondering who is that personality. Chintaya Vyakula Lokanatha Nikariya Nirakiya Shri Radha Vinoda Tata Kahena Hasya. So, seeing the confusion of Lokanatha, Radha Vinoda spoke to him in a smile, gentle smile. Ye Umrava Grame Vipane Vasati, ye Kishori Kunda Yeta Morasiti. He said, I wander in the woods surrounding this Umrav Gama. My permanent residence is in the bank of this Kishori Kunda. Tomara Vutkanta Deki Vyakula Haila. Ke Tomara Anibe Muis Apani Aila. Seeing that the intensity of your desire to serve me, I became concerned. So I arranged for my own delivery. Who else could do it? It is I who had come in the form of that person to hand over the deity to you. Shigra Kari Mora Kichu Karava Bakshana Suni Premadara Netre Vahe Anukshana. So I am feeling hungry. Please feed me something. I have come to you. I am a guest. You have to take care of me. First feed me something. Later you can feel your confusion, excessive, all these things. So when he said that, then Lokanath Goswami immediately arranged some items to be offered to the Lord. He cooked something. He gave everything for the service of the Lord. Then he went into ecstasy. He prepared one bag out of some jute materials and it became the temple for that deity. So every day he used to carry the deity in that jute bag wherever he goes. So when he is taking rest, he used to hang that deity bag onto a tree. So in that way he was serving the Lord for some time. So the devotees were, the villagers were asking him, at least have a cottage. So you are okay. You can stay everywhere, but Lord cannot stay everywhere. He cannot be hanging in that jula for all the time. But the devotees' feelings were like, see, Lord is very natural. He receives the bhava. He doesn't see the external feelings. After some time roaming around in Vrindavan, he came across Rupa and Sanatana. So in their association, he became more connected with the Goswamis, and he started associating with the Goswamis. After some time staying in that Kishori Kunda, he came to Vrindavana, where Goswami started taking care of him. So they built a temple for him, Radha Gokulananda. When we go, Radha Vinodji deity, we will see there. So that's where the deity was established, and he started serving the deity. His samadhi is there in that Radha Gokulananda temple. After the Goswamis came, then the next batch, Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakura, and Shyamananda Pandit. So Narottam Das Thakura became the disciple of Lokanath Goswami, and in that way, the entire Goswami Parampara was revived again. The knowledge of the vast ocean of devotional service has been propagated through this next generation of Acharyas. So in that way, the Acharyas say how Lord appears. Not that always to come to kill the demons. He comes to enhance the bhakti of the devotees also. So there are some prayers offered to Lokanath Goswami by Sanatana Goswami. He says, Jiyasyur Atyantika Bhakti Nishtai Shri Vaishnava Mathura Mandale Yatra Kashishwara Krishnavane Chakastu Shri Krishna Dasascha Shri Sa Lokanatha. He's saying, Atyantika Bhakti. May the devotees, Vaishnavas, who are fixed in uninterrupted devotion, live here in Mathura Mandala. Mathura Mandala, Atra Shri Vaishnava, Nivase Jiyasuhu. May Kashishwara and Shri Krishna Dasa, along with Lokanatha, shine in Vrindavana, the forest of Krishna, for a long time. And further he also says, Vrindavana Priyan Vande Shri Govinda Padashritan Srimat Kashishwaram Lokanatham Shri Krishna Dasakam. I praise those to whom Vrindavana is dear. They, like Sriman Kashishwara and Sriman Lokanatha and Shri Krishna Dasa, took shelter at Shri Govinda's feet. Shri Radha Vinodaika Seva Sampat Samanvitam Padmanabha Atmajam Shrimal Lokanatha Prabhum Bhaje. I worship the lotus feet of Shri Lokanath Goswami, the son of Padmanabha. He is a storehouse of single-minded service to Shri Radha Vinoda. So in that way, the Lord appears various pastimes. So similarly, there is one more pastime. This is explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So we all heard of the Narasimha, which is the deity at Simhachalam. Last time we heard that story. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the deity he used to call as Jiyada Narasimha. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says Jiyada Narasimha. How that word Jiyada had come, how the Lord became famous this time as Jiyada Narasimha there. He explains how the deity had come there in a different perspective. What we heard of the story is in a different perspective. So when he came to Jiyada, he had darshan of Narasimha. He was full of delight, and out of love, ecstatic tears came out of the Lord's eyes. His hair was full standing in ecstasy. Then he told the ancient story of how the Lord's unique qualities of subordination towards devotees' wish had come in this pastime here. So there was one devotee by name Pundaraya who was living in that area. He was known for his extreme strength like an ox, a rugged personality, who was growing wheat in that area and who was living his family life. So Lord Murari personally appeared to him in the form of a boar and rendered his evenly plowed field uneven and filled with chaff, something like that. He filled the entire area with some waste materials and all. But that Gopa fought with the Lord because he was like a boar. He was fighting with the Lord with the boar. So when he was putting arrows, he could understand that the boar was chanting the holy name of Lord Ramachandra. So when he was hitting the boar with the arrows, that boar was chanting the name of Ramachandra. So he could understand this boar is something different. He is not a common personality. Then he begs forgiveness from that boar and paid obeisances. Then he asked, who that boar personality? Then Lord says, I am that Varaha. So when you come and sprinkle milk in your field, you will have my darshan again. And you invite the king also to come here. Or else he wants, he has to come, king has to come and subordinate, he has to become subordinate to me. So after the instructions from the Lord, the cowherd became overwhelmed with the loving sentiments for the deity, and he informed the king of the Lord's order also. So simply by sprinkling the milk, the Lord showed himself in a transcendental form to all the saintly persons there, and sometimes Lord used to play hide and seek. Sometimes he becomes visible to them, sometimes he becomes hidden from them. So after some time, one more a wealthy man came with two of his wives there to have darshan of the Lord. After receiving Lord's darshana, when he entered and he offered various prayers and he touched the lotus feet of the Lord and he submitted himself completely to the lotus feet of the Lord. So Lord became very satisfied with him by his devotional perspective. The Lord said, "What benediction do you want?" This man said, "My name is Jiyada, and I want from today you should become famous with my name." In that way, the Lord accepted the name of the devotee in front of him. He became as Jiyada Narasimha. In that way, Lord explained the pastime of that place. After explaining to all the devotees there how the Lord had enacted this pastime, he vanished from there and he went away to some other place before the people could realize that he is the same Lord who had appeared there. In that way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had enacted various pastimes. All this is to increase that inquisitiveness in us. How we also will develop that love for the Lord, so that we'll all surrender to the Lord and we all accept that the pastimes of the Lord and we all become immersed in his pastimes, so that we become attached to the Lord. So in that way, Prabhupada had elaborated to us in various perspectives in Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, so that we all give attention to that pastimes and we develop our devotion service to the Lord. That's what the whole perspective is. I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? Okay, you ask loudly.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, this question might not be completely related to today's topic, but in general, it's a question that Prabhupada says sometimes that when we are completely immersed in devotional service, our fate is controlled directly by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna himself. And when we are not in devotional service or then karma acts on us. So what happens to someone who is flickering? Like when someone is following for some days, then he's not following, again following, like that. So is it a like happens whenever he is following, then it is controlled, or is it like because he has started, now Lord will be completely controlling him, like that? How can we understand that perspective?
See, Lord, in various perspectives, he works for his devotees. So there is one statement where it says, if one comes in front of the Lord, and in a jokingly also says, "From today I am your servant," the Lord takes it so seriously, it seems, that he sees that he becomes his servant eternally. That's why we should not joke with the Lord. So he takes it so seriously. So sometimes out of old habits, we may become diverted from the Lord's service. But Lord, being concerned like a father towards his child who is lost into this wilderness, he creates activities in such a way that he will come and forcefully become shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. So sometimes a child is there, you call him. If he comes, no problem. But after repeated calling also, if he doesn't come, what will you do? He catch your ear and pull him. So that's what Lord does. But this time, sometimes he gives reactions. See, sometimes Lord sanctions full karma so that we become more dependent on him. Sometimes he gives sample to say, "Are aware I am there here." So it is his decision. We cannot decide. We cannot conclude whether he will give partial or full. It is his choice. Maybe at that time his mood. If he is happy, he'll give partial. If he is in some other mode, he may give full also. Okay. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद।
హరే పుల్వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి